Going on, football fans? It's me, J.R. Clark, back with, well, not necessarily a truck thought. As you can see behind me, I'm not in the cab of my truck, but yet I am in my office, my bedroom, whatever you want to call it. Figured I'd bring you something a little bit different today as we wrap up this bye week and get into um, obviously the Saints game on Sunday. I figure at this point in time of the week, you've heard enough about Desmond Ritter starting and Marcus Mariota getting benched, demoted, whatever you want to call it. So I'm not going to keep drilling into that. I figured I would bring you some different information as we have gotten word that two important pieces should be back and playing in this game. And I'm speaking, of course, of Arnold Ebiketie and Elijah Wilkerson. Now, Ebiketie has like done what you needed him to do as a rookie, right? He has been a consistent, productive force throughout this season. No, he doesn't have the 8 sacks that Aiden Hutchinson does, but he's only 1 sack off of Trayvon Walker, so that's pretty cool. And in about 100 or so less snaps, obviously because he missed some games, missed at least last week. So far at 255 pass rush snaps, he has a grand total of 28 total pressures with 3 sacks and a win rate of like 12%, which is only second to Aiden Hutchinson. So, like, I really feel like we got a real good steal in the second round with Arnold Ebiketie leading our pass rush room. Now, we could hope to have more out of guys like Lorenzo Carter or Adi Ogundeji or what have you, but the lack of Arnold Ebiketie was definitely felt last week in the Steelers game, or not last week, but the last game we played. Um, I really feel like had he been there, he could have applied some more pressure and maybe made, a strip sack or, change the momentum of the game. Who knows? But we get to hopefully also get back Elijah Wilkerson, who has been a very stabilizing force at that left guard position. Something that we desperately needed after last season. So it'll be nice to have him back in the mix. Now, guys like I think Chad Uma, I think was his name, Cody Gossett, they've done okay filling in for Wilkerson, but it has definitely been felt missing Wilkerson throughout these last few weeks. Um, so we got the rematch, right? This time it's down in New Orleans. Last time we played New Orleans, they could not stop Cordell Patterson. I think Cordell Patterson rushed for 22 yards at over 22 carries at over 120 yards. He was a force in that game, and I don't expect much less, honestly. I expect Patterson to be a major factor. And then the other reinforcement, I guess you could consider from the first game to this game, is Tyler Algier, who's averaging over 4 yards, close to 5 yards carry, if I'm not mistaken. So not only are they going to have to deal with tackling Patterson, they're also going to have to deal with tackling Algier. With starting the rookie, I would imagine that they're going to be a good, healthy dose of the run game. The Saints themselves seem to be a little bit beat up. I know they still have Kamara, but not Alvin. Mark Ingram has been put on IR. They have elevated Eno Benjamin uh, to add to their backfield. So they're dealing with, some issues and inconsistent play themselves. Still electing to start Andy Dalton, which is I don't know what that decision there at this point is. You can like hope and rest assured that Andy Dalton's probably going to throw you the ball, throw us the ball at least once. Now, can we capitalize that on that? That's going to be the remaining question, or the question that everyone is going to attempt to answer. Myself am looking forward to this game, obviously for the rivalry purposes and the hopes to see what Ritter brings to the table. Does he get elevate some of the passing game, or at least does he give you an element that they haven't been able to scout yet, right? You're still well within the mix of the NFC South, and now you have the roster being the healthiest that it's been in quite a while. Like, with the late bye, you expect to have guys banged up and beat up, and that's what it's been. So I've been looking forward to a refreshed Falcons team come out, and a team hopefully that is more focused and ready to finish out this year. Because the players can say what they want to say, but the things that have come out this past week, really, you could really tell that they were looking looking forward to the Ritter start, I guess you could say. Um, whether Mariota is actually hurt or what have you. I know some people have put out there, oh, his wife had a kid. I get it, as being a father myself, but also remember that Jake Matthews um, came to the game that his son was or his child was born on. So I can't remember if it was a son or a daughter, but we all remember Arthur Blank sending his jet to get Jake Matthews to the game. So rest assured, had Mariota still been the starter, I don't think you would have heard much of anything about a chronic knee issue, or gotten much to do with a post of a child. So it does seem like the parting was not on great terms, whether it's just Mariota feeling bad or Arthur Smith not handling it well. Who knows? We're not privy to that information. Depending on what side of the argument you stand on, is how you tend to see it. If you were a Mariota stan, then you're probably looking at the Falcons organization as handling it bad. If you are in the camp that we needed to start Ritter months ago, you're probably looking at it as Mariota pouting. We won't have the true story or the full information probably ever. Either way, uh, based on the comments that Ritter said himself, it doesn't sound like Mariota is going to be back with the team, regardless. So that's what I have for you, and hopefully on Tuesday we'll be talking about a win. As always, y'all can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Grim1128, GRIMM1128. Toby D's at Toby D1991. And as always, Falcons fans, rise up.